Okay, we are live on Facebook or YouTube.
Oh, really? So is it words or is it also full sentences? I love you.
We are live on Facebook.
How is she sound-wise for her?
And we're rolling the screen center. Two storied tradition football teams take the field. Division VII, small-town Ohio football. We've got it all here tonight as the 6-0 Firelands Conference leading Monroeville Eagles at 7-2 overall come into Warren H. Whitney Field at Contractors Stadium to take on the Norwalk St. Paul Flyers, who are looking for their 14th straight playoff
Appearance?
and we're going to have it all. We'll have it live. We'll have it free, all on the OH Report. It's coming up next.
I didn't think our staff would even notice that we switched cleaning companies, but they did right away. They noticed that the office was cleaner, that things were bright, more vibrant, and that created a more positive working environment for us. There's always a potential to spread illness if our building isn't as clean as it possibly could be. Having Pinnacle in our building to make sure that it's as clean and safe and healthy as it can be helps us take the best care of our patients. It's family owned and operated, they're local, which means a lot to us.
For over 12 years, you've trusted Scout Construction for quality building and remodeling. Now we're proud to offer expert excavation services to start your project off right. You see what we build, now see the way we dig. Experience the Scout Construction difference. Call or email us today for a free quote and let us break ground together.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
And welcome into our RMH Concrete and Foundations pregame show. It's a Week 10 matchup that people in Huron County look forward to every year. You don't even have to be from Monroeville or St. Paul because the stands are full here tonight as it's Monroeville and St. Paul. Monroeville already has clinched at least a share of the Firelands Conference title with that 6-0 record. Last year they played a great one, as last year it was 9-0 Monroeville versus 5-4 St. Paul, and St. Paul scored on the final play from regulation, trailed by 1, went for the 2-point conversion, got it, and shocked the 9-0 Eagles and made the playoffs last year. And we expect more of the same today. As I welcome into the booth here, Brandon Bliley. I'm Chris Bliley. Brandon Ehrenberg bringing you all the pictures here tonight. And Brandon, you just have to say St. Paul and Monroeville, and that's usually enough.
Yeah, I mean, Firelands Conference rivalries in any sport, but especially in football, this is as good as it gets. Monroeville, last year we already talked about the game being so good, and we have a similar theme this year where St. Paul can kind of come in and play spoiler to a really, really good season for Monroeville, even if that share of the conference title is already locked in. I know both schools will want to pick up a win here, so it's going to be an exciting one on a chilly night here in Norwalk, Ohio.
Yeah, and the Flyers come onto the field right now. Certainly a heavy underdog here tonight, and we'll wait once the Monroeville Eagles take the field. We'll go through some of our team spotlights here as we wait for the Eagles to run down their sideline. And let officials, believe it or not, it's an officiating crew loaded with Monroeville Eagle graduates tonight, as we have 3 Monroeville Eagle graduates on the staff here tonight. So
let the conspiracy theories build up in the comments
That's
section.
right. I don't think so. And here the Monroeville Eagles take the field. And let's take a look at the visiting Monroeville Eagles first, as we are going to spotlight Coach Tyler Nestor and his team, 6-0 in the Firelands Conference. They earned a share last week with a 28-26 victory. They've already clinched a home game, Brandon, and with a win today, they'll get a Week 11 bye next week. Spotlighting here tonight, we are going to take a look at one of their key linemen, and it's Bryce Dunlap. He's the 2024 North Central Ohio Football Coaches Association Offensive Lineman of the Year. Those tackle numbers actually are a little wrong. It's a little lower than that, but it's lower for a reason. They stay away from them. They usually run to the opposite side. On the other hand, the RMH Concrete and Foundations preview show, we talk about the Norwalk St. Paul Flyers. They come in under third-year coach Chris Dowdy, 5-4 overall, 4-2 in the Firelands Conference. They've outscored their opponents 88-6 in the last 2 contests. Again, they won that thriller last year on a 2-point conversion, Kuhnle to Fries, and they won it 29-28. They lead this series 44-22-1. I believe Mark Hazelwood, who may join us at the half, said that it's the 64th year, but with some playoff games. That's why it's the way it is. And we are going to spotlight Raphael Gross. He's a junior, 57, state placer in wrestling last year at 4th, one of the top defensive players, 107 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. And with that, that is going to wrap up our RMH Foundation and Concrete pregame show, as we are now going to roll right into game time here. Not sure who won the toss, but either way, St. Paul is going to take the football. Monroeville won the toss, okay, and they have deferred. So the Flyers are going to take the football and move us into our first quarter there.
Chris, excited for a fun game with you here tonight. This should be a good one for everybody at home.
Yes. Looking forward to it. We carry both of these teams as part of our OH Report package, so you're going to see some multiple sponsors up there tonight. We'll go through them all several times. Our scoreboard sponsors are Kelly Dieter, State Representative, and Schaefer Electrical Services. There's Kelly Dieter, pops up, and the kick is away. And it's going to be picked up by the Flyers right at the 20, and straight up the middle with it is going to be Pocus. Nick returns it out across the 30 to the 34, and that's where the Flyers will set up first down and 10. Let's take a look here at what we said the keys to victory were going to be here for tonight. First, for the visiting St. Paul Flyers, I said in order for them to win that the O-line needs to hold up. They didn't hold up against Western. They got dominated. Brandon, you said keep it close until the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. Let that home crowd get into it and feed off of their energy.
And here's a toss to Pocus. He's got blockers out there. Pocus outside the numbers, and he is going to get close to first down yardage. It looks like they'll mark him down at about the 43-yard line. Take a look at that, as that's our Gnomes Access Orthopedics replay. And that's going to set up a second down.
Certainly opens up the playbook here. Can run it for hopefully a potential first down gain, or look to play something a little bit deeper. But offensive line got a really good push on that first play.
Yep, formation, everybody in, and turn handoff. Fries with
He's
it.
got
Landon
room.
Pops it outside, cuts it back inside. Line of scrimmage was the 42. He's going to get it down to the 43. That's going to be a pickup of 15. And a St. Paul Flyer first down.
Very shifty move there. Definitely able to make a few guys miss and pick up that first down. Going to keep feeding Fries. Wouldn't surprise me. Him and Pocus are two beasts in the backfield there.
And we're having a problem right now. We'll try to get it taken care of as our screen
Fries
is locked
off to
up
the
here.
left.
But yeah, Fries down the left side.
Really strong run there. Going to be right around the 10-yard line, maybe just outside. Very strong run there by Landon Fries. They keep feeding him. He has been a beast this whole season, and he's already off to a really good start here tonight. Flyers into Eagle territory, looking to get on the board early in this one. As we just said, just outside the 10-yard line, so there is a first down line to gain before getting into the end zone. So don't have to go for it here, can keep running the offense. Got three running backs lined up in the backfield here. Hand off to Pocus. Pocus also got room to run. Strong run up the left side. The Flyers have been plotting down the left side, really trusting in that offensive line here. Going to be second and short. Just a few to go.
And again, we apologize as we've lost internet here right now. We've lost our screen, and we're going to probably turn this computer down and fire it back up and try to get this stream going again. And there we go. And there's a handoff. Fries cuts it back up, and freezes. Let's see, into the end zone. Into the end zone for the Flyer touchdown.
Chris, I think somebody forgot to tell the St. Paul Flyers that they're underdogs tonight, because that definitely didn't look like a team that was scared to play out there. Marched right down the field, all on the ground, and frankly all to the left-hand side of their offensive line, which got a really nice push on that Eagle defensive front that entire drive. Point after attempt coming here.
Griffin on to attempt the extra point. It is up. It is good. And with 9:45 to play, opening quarter, the Flyers take the lead as it's St. Paul 7 and Monroeville nothing.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
And the Flyers take the opening kickoff and go 66 yards. Finished off by the Landon Fries touchdown, the Nate Griffin extra point, and St. Paul leads it 7-0. So, you know, we talked about one of the keys to the game. That offensive line has to hold up. I meant more in pass protection, but they did a great job on the ground there.
Yeah, if you get a push like that every time, your quarterback's going to be really chilly because he's not going to be moving much, just handing off the ball a lot. Can see why when you're picking up 6, 7, 8 yards a carry and doing it pretty convincingly. Good job there by the offensive line for the Flyers. Not a deep one, but a high one.
And
great kickoff coverage there by the Flyers.
Yep, bowled under at about the 26-yard line, and that's where Monroeville will take over, first down at 10. Monroeville, of course, with that dynamic duo. They've got a terrific trio, but they have a dynamic duo with quarterback Colt Clark and running back Connor Boris. Throw in Heath Cleary as your, I call him a short yardage back, but he can get you 25-30 anytime. 3 receiver set here. Clark in the shotgun with Boris on his left, and Boris is going to take it right up the middle, and St. Paul is there for the stop. Take a look here as they'll give Boris 3 yards on the carry.
Looked like a few people got through on the defensive line there, able to make offensive linemen for the Eagles miss, causing some ruckus in the backfield, and hard to run around players like that when you're getting hit right when you get the ball.
Yeah, on the tackle, Raphael Gross. Also out there was Hauk on the tackle, Cade Hauk. Looking, they're going to pass, they're going to go long, and caught out there. One man to beat, and he is going to go untouched into the end zone, as that one is going to go from 70 yards. Take a look at,
I believe that was Chase Horn, really deep touchdown pass there. The coverage was relatively tight, but he turned on the jets there, was able to get just ahead, and you know, as soon as he caught that ball, he was gone for the end zone. A quick response there for Monroeville after St. Paul marches down the field a little bit more methodically. Eagles return very quickly with a touchdown of their own.
And again, I apologize as I'm locked up again here right now. Isaac Krieger on to attempt the extra point. And with the 70-yard touchdown play for the Monroeville Eagles and the Krieger extra point, we are all tied at 7, and we'll change that scoreboard when we can. We're going to keep it right here. We're not sure if we have a picture or not, again, because our screen is locked up here. And but Monroeville from 70 yards out there, and that was a perfectly placed ball. Clark has been exceptional in the second half of the year with throwing the football. Normally they're a ground and pound team, but he has done really well throwing the football.
Could have fooled me. That ball was right on the money. And folks, I feel bad if you're showing up to the stadium a little bit late here. You blink and there's been 2 scores on the board already. Does look like the officials are having a word right now with Coach Dowdy. They sure are taking their sweet time down there.
Yeah,
Coach Dowdy doesn't seem too happy about what they're discussing, but we're not really sure what's inside on that conversation.
Hey, we want to get that touchdown graphic up there for those Eagle fans as we weren't able to in the first time.
It Looks like the scoreboard was able to update now, showing 7-7, whereas previously they still had it here at the stadium at 7-6. Working on getting that updated on our end as we speak.
Well, we're just, we have no picture on our end as, again, our computer is locked up here. And
appears the scoreboard inside the stadium also has had trouble. Might be what is causing our issues as well, but looks like they're getting that cleared up right now as we speak. Changing the time. It's going to be set to 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Both teams scoring quickly, and Monroeville getting ready to kick off back to Landon Fries and Nick Pocus.
Well, every time I hit the replay button, the screen locks up. I'm hesitant to use the replay again, but I'm still trying to just get us back on right now. Let us know from home if you still see a picture or if you are locked up on our Facebook page, and I'll try to fix it here if I can see any messages. But it's come back on twice, and that's what we're trying to get right now.
Monroeville with a very short kick, but St. Paul not able to get it after that first bounce. It takes a couple more, and they just fall on it at the 30-yard line, which is where the Flyers are going to take over, see if they can continue that success on offense that they had on that first drive, entirely on the ground, that first drive. Maybe see if Flyers stick with that same thinking or open up the playbook a little bit and drop back for some passes. Monroeville certainly gave you the blueprint for how to do that successfully after their 70-yard touchdown pass. Opting for it on the ground. Going to be a short gain on first down. Run to the left side there. Number 23, Casey Fries.
And looks like we got our picture back again. Apologize. Back in the studio, they say they still see us.
More discussion here among the referees. Things taking just a little bit longer here. I think the infield scoreboard is having some troubles here with the time, so please bear with us.
Yeah, and that time, we have a clock cam on the time. Maybe they're having the same problems we're having as we've got a meeting up here as not sure if the official clock is working or the time clock is working. The play clock, they're coming over to talk to Coach Dowdy, and they're probably going to replay something up here.
Such a shocking start to the game, maybe caused any sort of technical issues, but I think if we can keep up this pace of scoring, that there's going to be a lot of fans very happy to see the outcome of this game. Looks like we're getting ready to start play back up here as the Flyers are getting ready to break the huddle.
And St. Paul takes over, 2nd down and 7 from their own 34-yard line. Turn handoff Fries. Fries gets it out over the 35 to the 37.
Looks like a gain of about 3 yards. Going to bring up a short and mid-yardage situation here. Might finally see Grant Kuhnle drop back for a pass because it's been all rushing so far tonight for the Flyers. All right, St. Paul approaching the ball here. Looking like they're going to be rushing. And it's a pitch to the left to Fries. He's got room, but is just going to be stopped a little bit short there.
Yeah, that's Casey Fries. And looks like they'll need 1. And that's going to bring up 4th down. And I think Coach Dowdy going to go for it here.
Just saw number 28, Nick Pocus, get substituted in here. He's a big back. Might be a perfect situation to see a short yardage run here from him. Again, still haven't seen a pass from St. Paul yet. Have been moving the ball all right here on the ground. quick to the line, the Flyers are. 3 in the backfield. And Pocus has got room. He's going down the left. And a shoestring. Oh, not even. Wow, what a run there from Nick Pocus. The left side has been strong here for the St. Paul offensive line, converting for a big first down on a 4th and short situation. Almost was able to entirely break free and was just saved as the Monroeville team caught up on defense, making a tackle. Going to be a 12, 13-yard line here for the Flyers to continue this drive.
Keep rolling, Brandon. I'm going to try and get this fixed here.
Well, we've seen it all tonight. We've seen some long runs,
we've
some
only
long
played
passes.
5 minutes so far.
5 minutes, and Pocus showing off. Oh, that is Landon Fries showing off the speed to the right-hand side. Wasn't much room to operate. Is able to get to the 10-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 3 yards. Bring up 2nd and 7 here, as we are now down to 6 minutes and 40 seconds here in this first quarter. Credit to Landon Fries there. It looked like the right side of the offensive line had gotten a little bit of pushback there for the Eagle defensive line, and he was just able to kind of sprint around the outside of it and pick up a few yards. Kuhnle dropping back to pass for his first pass. Wide open in the end zone. That is going to be number 16. What a catch there for Conan Lindenberger. That'll be a 10-yard touchdown pass. Kuhnle to Lindenberger. And the Flyers, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns.
And again, we can't, we'll put the touchdown graphic up there. We've got somebody in from our headquarters in Mansfield helping us fix our issue here. And once they do that, we'll put the touchdown on the board. As the kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 6:16 remaining here in the first quarter, it's Norwalk St. Paul 14 and Monroeville 7. We're going to keep it right here as we're going to add that Flyer touchdown there.
Chris, I haven't done the math if the scoring keeps up at this pace, but we might need triple digits here at the Contractors Stadium here in Norwalk on the scoreboard if it continues at this pace. Not that anybody will be complaining for either team to see a high-scoring affair.
14-7. The Flyers lead it now as both teams hitting on some big plays. Monroeville with that 70-yard pass play, and St. Paul with a couple huge running plays.
Yeah, the defenses have not shown up here thus far. I think going to see probably some more defensive stops here in the future. Not that we're not all rooting for touchdowns, but these are 2 good defenses as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they start showing their grit and having some difficult drives for the offenses here. Got 2 back deep for Monroeville. Number 23, Connor Boers, and number 7, Colton Koch, to receive this kick.
Colton Cook.
Colton Cook.
Yes.
Apologies.
And Griffin's kick is underway. Going to be taken back there by Reed Wasserman. And Wasserman going to be brought down out there, as it looks like getting in on that tackle for St. Paul was number 2, Nate Sandor. And now Monroeville comes out. You've got 2 of the more accurate kickers kicking here tonight in Griffin and Krieger. So we've done a bunch of Western games, and they've had to go for 2. They're not as sure on their kicking game, so it always makes it interesting, because then the games could come down to a 1-point game with somebody going for 2.
Absolutely. Going to be interesting to see. Field goal is also an option when you have good kickers.
Clark going to keep it. He's going to try to get around right end, and he's going to get out close to the 35. They're going to mark him across the 35.
Design run there that was pretty much quarterback run to the right the whole way, but certainly Clark is a quick fella out there. Immediately grabs the ball, heads to the right-hand side, able to get around for, looks like a 4-yard gain, going to bring up 2nd and 6. as Monroeville attempts to keep pace with this high-powered St. Paul offense.
The carries are usually about 60% Clark and 40% Boris. That's only their third offensive play. They're looking, rolling, and now Clark cuts it back, and he's going to be brought down shy of the 40 at about the 39. Take a look at that scramble here, and hey, we've got replay. I've been told that our hard drive on our computer was full, and so anytime we tried to get a replay, it would run us over. So
too much good football content
yeah.
there, as we've seen all throughout the season this year.
We've got about
on the OH report.
25 soccer, volleyball, and football games on this computer, and I am going to empty them out at halftime.
It's going to be an inside handoff there, and it looks like the Eagles will be able to pick up the first down on that third and short situation. The chains are moving. Run there was number 23, Connor Boris. A heavy consistency of Clark and Boris tonight, but can't leave out the impressive passing game that we've seen thus far for the Eagles. Already the one deep ball for 70 yards for the touchdown, the lone score thus far for the Eagles.
Looking, he's going to throw it, and Rospert almost makes the one-hand interception. And if this one isn't offensive, then there's going to be an issue. Let's see what the call is. Rospert, and I think they are going to call it offensive. Wait and see the St. Paul crowd booing, but they need to wait till they make the call.
I saw them point towards the Flyer side. It did, from my perspective, look like there was a little bit of jersey
and they
tugging.
are going to call it on St. Paul.
I can see why the home faithful are a little upset, but to be fair, I think there was a little bit of jersey tugging on the far side, making it tough to see. Not much, but they're calling it tight here tonight. Design quarterback run to the right-hand side here. Picking up more of a chunk yardage play here is Colt Clark. Looks like it's going to go for about 5 or 6 yards, as the Eagles are finding themselves in second and short situations as they are able to pick up good yardage on their first down plays.
So, second down and 4.
Cleary in the backfield, 41.
He is a big fella, and they are going to turn. Clark's going to keep it, and Clark going to be brought down after about a half-yard gain. And
great job by the middle linebackers there for St. Paul, able to stay home, watching that read option and stay focused on Colt Clark, the quarterback. Going to go for no gain, third down and 4 coming up. Cooper Cleary staying in as the primary back. High snap. Looks like it might have been a designed run play, but wow. Colt Clark just powers through a couple of different St. Paul defensive players there, and it looks like he's going to pick up the first down. Chris, I think that was actually a designed run to the left-hand side, but considering how high the snap was, it looks like they weren't able to have a good connection there to Cooper Cleary. And Colt Clark just says, well, if I can't get that handoff, I better run for my life. And he does so successfully for a first down on third down and 4. Eagles keep the chains moving.
so first down. And then was that Clark on the keeper down
that
close to
Cleary.
the 36? Cleary, okay.
Very patient run there. Looked like he gave his offensive line some time to develop that blocking scheme, showed a stiff arm, and kind of kept the defenders at a distance as he picked up 4 or 5 yards on first down. Going to bring up 2nd and 6 as the Eagles have been plotting their way downfield very methodically this drive.
2:30 on the clock now, in motion and turn. They're going to keep it. Wide open, and he is going to go into the end zone for the touchdown.
Maverick
Myers.
Really nice play design there for the Monroeville Eagles. They had some motion in the backfield, confusing the linebackers, and it looks like there was a player that freed up right behind the noses of the St. Paul secondary as they had a couple of players running deep. That flats area was not able to be keyed in, and Colt Clark did a really nice job finding the open man, scoring the touchdown. Point after attempt here to make it even at 14. Let's see what happens. And it's a fumbled snap. St. Paul able to get on it, so St. Paul will continue to hold the lead here as the Eagles were not able to convert. Looked like the snap was maybe just a little bit off of the ideal spot for the holder, but did himself no favors there.
We are going to have to go off the air for a quick minute, as back in the studio they're going to try and reload us as the computer screen keeps locking up here, so bear with us 1 minute as we are going to close up and reload. And back we are here in a 14-13 game. And a good run from Casey Fries.
Apologies for the technical errors there. That was the first play of scrimmage from this drive. There was a really nice kickoff return there from Nick Pocus, number 28 for the Flyers. And as a strong first down run there for Casey Fries, we are into Eagle territory right now as St. Paul continues to be very dominant running the football. Pocus and Fries in the backfield. Handoff will be to Casey Fries. Looks like he was able to run forward for a 3-yard gain on first down.
And everything right now. We apologize. We had to reload the whole system there. When we came back, our camera was our clock. So we've got rid of our clock and we've got the field back.
Well, we can assure you this is a game worth keeping it on for, as there has been 27 points here in the first quarter alone. St. Paul leading at 14-13 over the Eagles. Two backs in the backfield. Pass the whole way to Landon Fries out on the left-hand side. Good pass there by Kuhnle. Going to be close to a first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short for the Flyers.
And bring up 3rd down and 1 now, in which Brandon for sure is 4-down territory unless they were to lose a bunch here.
Certainly, in the way that they're running the football, I think they're confident that over the course of 2 plays they'd be able to pick this up. But that last one was interesting. Two running backs in the backfield has been run all the way for St. Paul, dropped back and was passed the whole time there. Kuhnle to Fries. And it'll be the same on the ground this time. It looks like good enough for first down yardage as St. Paul keeps the chains moving.
We'll deal with that clock. We'll mention the clock here a lot, and maybe at the end of the first quarter or during the band show, we'll try to get the clock back online, but our goal is to have no interruptions as we have played a whale of a first quarter. At the end of one quarter from Contractors Stadium in Norwalk, Ohio, it's Norwalk St. Paul 14 and Monroeville 13.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
And back we are. They're going to say touchdown. Norwalk St. Paul hit the ground and maybe was in. Now the officials are going to get together and talk about it.
The ever so challenging, does he maintain possession of the ball through the ground? Looks like they're going to let it stand. Touchdown, St. Paul.
They will. (20-13). Griffin on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. With 11 minutes and 51 seconds to play in the first half from Warren H. Whitney Field at Contractors Stadium, it is Norwalk St. Paul 21 and Monroeville 13. And welcome back here to Contractor Stadium. You see there on the Kelly Dieter scoreboard, Norwalk St. Paul. We've yet to have a punt here as Monroeville scored on both of their possessions. St. Paul has scored on all three of their possessions as it's Norwalk St. Paul 21 and Monroeville 13. And the kick is away. It's going to be taken on the 14-yard line as that is Cook on the return there, Colton. And he's going to get it out to the 24-yard line, and that's where Monroeville will take over first down and 10.
Too quick for his own self there. Ended up running into his own player and came in for actually a very nice slide tackle. That would be a very nice slide tackle on the OH.REPORT soccer coverage right there on his player.
Absolutely.
Quick player.
So Monroeville going to try and keep the perfect scoring streak alive. I would assume if they score here, you'll be looking at 2-point conversion to try to make up for that extra point. Clark going to keep it and go around left end. Clark's got some speed, and he's going to get forward for 8, maybe 9.
Looks like they're going to mark him just short of the first down marker, but wow, does he show a lot of speed. And Monroeville clearly running a lot of designed QB runs and try to keep St. Paul on their feet a little bit, but has shown the arm strength in the passing game that you have to keep them honest.
I want to thank everybody at home for texting me to tell me, hey, we're frozen. Hey, we're not frozen.
Boers still on his feet, was able to pick up the first down to the left-hand side there.
Boris, he is a hard runner. He's had a fantastic career, and he's looking forward to a playoff run for the Eagles. Again, a win tonight for Monroeville would assure a Week 11 bye. Still have a good chance of getting the bye even with a loss, but you always want to win your final game, especially when it's against your rival. And there's the keeper right up the middle, Clark, and he is going to be brought down by the shoestrings
of Levi Rospert, it looks like.
And Clark slow to get up.
Boy, is he quick.
Yes, he is. Straight up the middle went Clark.
That's the second or third time they've ran that inside run option with the QB ending up keeping it. Ran it to the right-hand side, was able to find some room, and off to the races he went. Levi Rospert with a touchdown-saving tackle there.
So 21-13, first down from the 20-yard line.
High snap!
Clark goes back, and he is going to get on it. Take a look at it here on replay. Well, that was the touchdown a while ago.
That was a 17-yard loss, going to bring up second and a mile, second and 27 here for Monroeville. That was not what you would want to see as an Eagle fan after you've just picked up a really large gain through your quarterback's feet. That's going to put you in a difficult situation here on second and third down.
No, it's like second down in Ashland right now. I mean, officially 27. They'd have to probably reach Fisher-Titus to get that first down. I've seen this Monroeville Eagle offense do it. They throw the quick out, caught out there. It's going to be good for about 10 yards as they'll get to the 27-yard line.
Pretty safe coverage there for St. Paul. I think they're playing the sticks here, allowing a little bit of room for yardage gain for the Eagles, but not letting anything get deep and over top of them where they would be able to get that first down. So it's going to have to be through creative plays on their feet in order to pick up this first down for the Eagles. Three wide receivers, two to the left, one to the right. Snap was perfect this time. Looking deep, there is a flag thrown with an incomplete pass going off to the left-hand side to Chase Horn, the first recipient of a touchdown catch tonight. Let's see what the call is here for the flag. Holding on the offense. But the Flyers have declined the penalty, and that is going to bring up fourth down for the Eagles.
Well, and you know what? You're inside the 30-yard line. You're not going to punt it here because if you would punt it in the end zone, it'd be about a net of 7. So you'd assume here from the 27, you just go for it. You got a chance of getting a penalty. I understand why Coach Dowdy would decline that, though. Brings up fourth down.
Cooper Cleary and Connor Boris in the backfield.
Back to pass. He's going to throw it out there. There's a receiver out there, and he is going to get the first down. Let's see. No, he is going to be marked shy of the first down.
Pressure there off the left-hand side of the line as Landon Fries got into the backfield very quickly. Colt Clark had to let it fly quickly, was able to find Connor Boris open in the flats. Boris very fast, was able to head to the sideline to the left. Very, very, very close there, but since it's fourth down, it looked like he might have just gotten knocked out of bounds right around the first down marker. The officials saying that he was maybe a half-yard short. St. Paul, taking a deep breath, but going to get the ball back here and attempt to keep their perfect offensive record of scoring touchdowns intact. As Pocus has handed the ball off to the right, going to be a run for a few yards. He's been a strong and willing runner tonight, both on the ground and in special teams. He's returned a few kicks, had that really nice one. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get captured by our cameras as we were out for just a minute, but he has been an impact player for the Flyers tonight. I don't believe Kuhnle has thrown more than one pass, but his passer rating must be through the roof. I think he's 1 for 1 for 8 yards maybe. Let's see if they have to utilize his arm more on this drive. It's going to be a run up the middle. Couldn't tell if it was number 23, Casey Fries. Pick up a few. Going to bring up 3rd and short for the Flyers with 7 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second quarter. The score is 21 to St. Paul, 13 Monroeville Eagles. St. Paul bringing in their tall wide receiver Connor Lindenberger, who was the first touchdown reception for the Flyers this evening. He's going to be split all the way out to the left-hand side with 2 running backs in the backfield. And it looks like there was movement on the defensive line. It is within 5 yards, so if this is on the defense, it would be a first down for the Flyers. St. Paul pointing at Monroeville, Monroeville pointing at St. Paul. Let's turn and see what the officials have to say. Well, cue the Jeopardy music here. They're going to have a debate here in the 18-yard line to decide who actually provoked who to jump over that line.
Would be a first down if it's on Monroeville. And it will be offsides. So that's going to give the Flyers a first down.
Coach Dowdy, I don't think will care too much if the first downs come via the ground, the air, or the flags. Take them where they can get them. It's going to move St. Paul to the 22-yard line, their 22-yard line, as they still have a long field to go here with 6 minutes and 45 seconds in the second.
Been yet to be stopped yet.
Two in the backfield. Handoff to Landon Fries. He's got room to run. Makes a couple men miss. Oh, and he's going to break out here. What a sensational run for Landon Fries. He was able to get a really nice push there from the offensive line, was able to scoot to the left-hand side, make a few guys miss, even had a few jabs to cut back to the left-hand side. Again, that left-hand side for the Flyers has been so dominant tonight on the offensive line. It feels like most of their long rushes have came towards that side of the football. But St. Paul offense continues to pick up first downs, largely via the run, largely via Landon Fries, Nick Pocus, and Casey Fries, the three-headed monster of the Flyer backfield. The handoff this time again. No, this to Nick Pocus, and a very nice tackle there from number 47 on Monroe. That's Thomas Plate. Was able to make a shoestring tackle. Otherwise, Pocus looked like he had room to run. Just a bit shy of a first down there. It looks like Pocus was able to pick up 8 yards on the play. St. Paul continuing to not hesitate, running the football. Why put it at harm's way when they're throwing it through the air if you're picking up 5+ yards a carry? Two backfields in the back this time. And it's a fumbled snap. But I think Kuhnle is able to quickly fall on it. That is not going to be maybe for a half yard of a loss. That is going to bring up 3rd and short for the Flyers. Connor Lindenberger stepping off, Casey Fries stepping on. He has been critical in short yardage situations this year for the Flyers. Three of them in the backfield. Good handoff this time. Pocus is immediately wrapped up. The Eagles defensive line able to cause some havoc on that play and immediately get into the backfield to stifle the run of Nick Pocus. It's going to be a loss of another half yard or so. We're looking at 4th down and 3 yards to go.
And I'm going to think this is going to be a punt. Let's see. Freeze does your punting with 4 minutes. Maybe they're going to take it down here and then use a call timeout. Gives them a little more time to think about it, as there's 10 seconds on the play clock. They'd have to rush to get up there. Certainly if they were going to try and draw them off sides, they would have got to the line of scrimmage earlier. And St. Paul will use a timeout. And it's 4th and a long 3 for St. Paul. As big decision here on whether you go, or what do you think, Brandon?
Well, from my tremendous experience as an offensive coordinator
Yes.
on NCAA football 25 and 26, given that St. Paul, as we've said a dozen times, has been running the football very, very well, I like the off-speed pitch here where you might run a little play action for a short yardage pass, get Kuhnle scrambling out to his favored right-hand side and try to find a short yardage pickup. I like the way that the Flyers are moving the football. I would try to keep that gas on the Monroeville defense and try to pick up more points, so I'd not be looking to turn it back over to the Eagles to give them a chance to level this game at 21.
Looks like they're going to at least line up to go. And I guess, you know, when you're at midfield, you could line up to go again, try to draw them off and even take the 5-yard penalty and still punt it if you wanted. This is a weird-looking set.
Four lined up to the left-hand side.
And they're going to throw it to Fries out there. He's going to get the first down.
Did see a flag come out of the official over on this side.
Yeah, they might get holding over here.
You would think that would be the call when you see 3 guys lined up out there like that, all trying to block and cause confusion.
And let's see what the call is, and they will send the punt team out now, as that's going to go on St. Paul.
Creative play calling there, though, for Coach Dowdy and the Flyers. Was able to convert on the play. You know, does the holding play a factor? The officials certainly think so, so we won't know otherwise, but St. Paul is going to bring out the punting unit here. 2 deep for Monroeville, and this, I believe, is our first punt of the game.
It is.
Only 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the second quarter. We are witnessing the first punt of this high-powered offensive game here at Contractors Stadium in Norwalk, Ohio. Landon Fries, your punter. The snap is fine. It's a nice spiral kick to the right-hand side. Gets a Flyer bounce. And the coverage team does a good job to wrap up Connor Boris pretty quickly. Looks like Monroeville's going to get the ball at the 26, 27-yard line with 3 minutes and 22 seconds to operate in this first half.
You keep right on going there. I'm going to try and fix some of the issues we're having here, Brandon.
Well, we've seen a lot of action. Obviously, Colt Clark, the quarterback, on his feet and through the air. The main through the air being that 70-yard touchdown pass to Chase Horn on the first drive for Monroeville. There's 2 lined up in the backfield this time. And it is going to be a QB keeper to the right-hand side. Really liking that option look, where it looked like number 41, Cooper Cleary, was the option to run the ball down the left-hand side. Clark deciding he wants to keep it for himself, able to pick up 6 yards on the play, going to bring up 2nd and 4 on the 33-yard line here for the Eagles.
Monroeville has their full complement of timeouts here. And they're certainly a team more adept at scoring quickly now with the way Clark's been using his arm. Monroeville trying to pull that double score here before the half and then get the ball to start the second half.
Monroeville ran that exact same play that they did prior, except this time the ball does go to Cooper Cleary, number 41. Going to pick up 3 and change on the play, going to bring up a 3rd down and 1.
2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. St. Paul makes a defensive stop here. They may use one of their 2 timeouts. And Clark going to keep it, and Clark's going to be stopped.
Keeper the whole way there for Colton Clark as he runs down that right-hand side, immediately eaten up by the St. Paul defensive line. That was a really nice stop there by the Flyers. It looks like the offense is staying out on the field, though.
Yeah, 4th down and 1, and hey, this is a rivalry game.
This would be a big momentum shift here if the Flyers are able to stop them on 4th down again.
Yeah.
A little bit different situation this time than 4th and 17 that they had last time.
Well, and I'm guessing they're going to use all this time, and I'm going to guess Coach Nestor punts it, but who knows? We'll see. I mean, you would think if he was going to go for it, he wouldn't let all this time go off the clock. So we'll have to see what they go with here.
Timeout taken at 1 minute, 18 seconds left. 4th down and 1 on the 36. This is going to be a big play here, Chris.
See who they bring out.
Chilly night here in Norwalk, Ohio. Not too bad. Certainly reeks of football weather. Not too windy either, so I think those in the stands are enjoying getting to wear the extra layers tonight.
Well, if Monroeville decides to go for it here, the onus is on the St. Paul line here. 1, not to jump, and 2, that to try and get a good push. I still think Monroeville may line up here, try to draw them off sides. We'll see. Monroeville playing with house money, though. I mean, they've already clinched a share of the Firelands Conference. And they're going to keep it. They're going to go with Clark, and Clark's going to bull forward and get the 1st down.
You can see it here on replay. Able to get a nice block there from his running back. Clear out a nice hole for him to run for that 1st down.
Yeah, and that's good for an A. Miller excavating 1st down.
But now the clock is not going to be the friend of Monroeville as they're scrambling out to the left looking for a pass. Incomplete. That will stop the clock at 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Throw was high. Let's take a look at this on the Gnomes Access Orthopedics.
I never love having my quarterback scramble the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I love getting him out to the right-hand side if he's a righty, left for left-handers. I know they are short-sided on the right side of the field here, so not as much room to operate.
39-yard line's the line of scrimmage. I don't think Krieger has Nate Griffin's leg, so I think they'd probably need to get it down around the 15, 20-yard line. They're still probably 40 yards away. There's a pass on the outside. It's going to fall incomplete as they tried to hit Ethan Pomerich.
Well covered there by Connor Lindenberger. He was very quick. Throw right at the 1st down marker. I think the goal there was to get a catch, maybe get out of bounds. Connor was very tight to the coverage, able to get a hand in there and break up the pass. Not only is the clock operating against Monroeville with only 58 seconds, but now downs start to become an issue as it is 3rd and long here.
Well, and you'd think St. Paul will probably, if this is stopped in the field of play and more than 3 or 4 yards from a 1st down, they may use a timeout of their own here. Clark straight back to pass.
He's under
being
pressure.
Flushed out. He looks. He's going to line
it up.
Hospital pass. And it is intercepted by Casey Fries. Casey Fries makes the interception. Take a look here.
Scrolling, rambling to the right and just off his back foot. I know coaches never like when you throw those off balance, but it's 3rd and long trying to make a play happen, and the defense comes up with a big one, interception, and St. Paul's going to have it near midfield with 48 seconds to go.
Again, I think, I'll look back at this series here and say that's Coach Nestor playing with that house money, He's undefeated. He's already locked up at least a share, so he can take some chances here maybe that he might not take in Week 11 or in Week 7. And I like his aggressiveness. It worked out well for St. Paul. Kuhnle looking. He's going to throw it down the field for Lindenberger. Oh! Lindenberger's going to catch it, and he's going to go into your living room for the touchdown.
55 yards. Conan Lindenberger to the house. 4 split off to the right-hand side. Lindenberger, the sole receiver to the left. A deep ball. But it looks like, as we're watching the replay here of Lindenberger strolling into the end zone, the home crowd,
and evidently there was a reason he was standing up so long.
Well, that makes sense. Holding on the offense, the call, as the crowd quiets down a little bit there, as they were very excited from the 55-yard touchdown pass. In my excitement from all the great plays we've seen, I didn't even see the flag.
I didn't either. I was looking downfield going, I thought Lindenberger was going to get tackled on the 20. He kind of ran out of the one tackle and raced into the other. Don't be surprised if we don't see him try to run the same play again.
Copy and paste has a tendency to work. It works for me and my job, and, let's see if that can work here for the Flyer offense.
40 seconds to play. 1st and 20 now for the Flyers back at the 38-yard line. Kuhnle looks. He's going to throw the quick out, and it's almost intercepted as he threw it behind Fries. And breaking on that was Connor Boris. The one kid you got to watch in the defensive backfield is Colt Clark. He's got 7 interceptions already this season.
Wow, Connor Boris, if he was able to come down with that and stay on his feet, you can chalk it up to 6 points to the Eagles because there was nobody that would have stopped him. That ball was thrown very quick, so a tough catch to make.
Tell you what, I love the aggressiveness of both coaches right now. I mean, I love that Coach Nestor, what he did on that last possession. I love what Coach Dowdy's doing here. And, again, you're doing that because of the rivalry here. 2nd down and 20. They fake the handoff. Blitz is coming. They run a screen on the outside, and it's too high for Sandor. Take a look here. And we're going to have a flag go down.
Looked like Sandor gave a little toss of the football afterwards, frustrated in himself or the location of where the ball. It did come very friendly back to him. It didn't scurry away, but the official didn't seem to like that one very much.
Well, and now St. Paul is going to be 3rd down and Avery for the 1st down. They're going to need to hit Ehovie.
It was 2nd down and long. Now it's 3rd down and almost insurmountable. So let's see what the St. Paul Flyers are going to dial up here in their playbook, or if they just decide to keep it a little bit more in check with a run to draw out this first half.
Should be about 3rd and 32, 3rd and 34. So if you're St. Paul, I would probably run it here, force Monroeville to use one of their timeouts and then punt it away.
Well, they have 3 wide receivers split out here, 2 to the left-hand side, 1 to the right hand, with Nick Pocus in the backfield. Not exactly a setup for a power run here, but let's see what we have.
It'll be shotgun for Kuhnle. And Kuhnle's going to turn handoff. A little bit of room out there as he gets out close to the 30, the 28. Monroeville will take a timeout. They have 1 timeout remaining now, and St. Paul will bring the punt team out with 24 seconds. And I think the thing here, if you're St. Paul, and if Monroeville only puts 1 back, try to kick it away from the punter and then let the ball roll. Don't down it. Even if the thing is rolling back in your direction a little bit, right now the clock is your friend, and you need to try and get that clock down as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's exactly what Landon Fries did on his first punt. It wasn't a mile long, but he was able to keep it away from the Eagles' returners off to the right-hand side, and it rolled for a while. And that would be, I think, exactly what Coach Dowdy is trying to convey to him right now. as you said, for the benefit of letting that clock tick down and fewer plays for the Monroeville offense.
For Monroeville, you got a phenomenal athlete back there in Colt Clark. You want to catch it. If you can make the return, yes, but otherwise, fair catch it and stop that clock. Whatever you do, try not to let that ball roll and run precious seconds out because you only have one timeout left. More than likely, you'll have 3 plays after this punt, maybe 2, though.
Good snap, and the kick is a spiral to the left-hand side.
And it goes out of bounds with 16 seconds, so good job there by the Flyers as it goes down inside the 40. Let's see where they mark it at. Going to mark it at the 35. So, again, Monroeville, to get this into field goal range, are going to need 45 to 50 yards here with only one timeout. So
in 16 seconds, not much that you can do here. Maybe a few out routes, but then you're starting to either look for a big play with a timeout or you just start shooting for the end zone if you're not in field goal range.
See how the Flyers elect to play this defensively here. You know, we had touchdowns on the first 5 possessions of the game. We haven't had one in a while. What's going on here, Brandon?
A lot of scoring in the first quarter. I think it's slowed down a little bit, but still been a very action-packed game thus far.
And let's see. St. Paul wanted to kind of see the look Monroeville was going to give you, and now they are going to use one of their 2 timeouts. We're going to keep it right here with 16 seconds to play. Don't forget we'll have the band coming up at halftime. Monroeville first, followed by St. Paul. We're going to try to screw our heads on straight and see if we can get back to see what any of our technical difficulties might have been. We want to thank everyone back at the mothership in Mansfield for logging in. And it sounded to me like maybe through texting that our computer was overloaded with data and they needed to go in there and delete a bunch of things in order to run the replays and that. So,
again,
hey, those are things we don't know. We're just here to call the game.
Again, too much good content that the OH Report's been putting out, just filling up the hard drives of these computers out here in Contractors Stadium in Norwalk tonight.
I tell you, we have got some of the best graphics around. I get scared when we go to a commercial and they replay that little Halloween promo we have.
Very timely. Halloween coming up. I think the St. Paul trying to scare Monroeville with an upset tonight. 8-point lead with 16 seconds to go in the first half.
St. Paul with 5 defensive players back. Looking at throwing the double move, and they throw it late over the middle. Now with 10 seconds, Monroeville could probably throw it downfield. You know, if you could get 30 yards here, take your timeout, and then maybe just try to throw one up into the end zone.
Chris, it felt like you needed to get some yards there if you really wanted to make a good probability of getting into field goal range, and it looks like they are just going to knee the ball down here and take it to halftime. It's exactly what we do, and I think that'll wrap it up here for the first half from Contractors Stadium. A very high-powered, high-scoring affair between Norwalk St. Paul Flyers 21 and Monroeville Eagles 13. That'll take us to the end of the first half, and you'll have the bands coming up here in a few minutes.
I didn't think our staff would even notice that we switched cleaning companies, but they did right away. They noticed that the office was cleaner, that things were bright, more vibrant, and that created a more positive working environment for us. There's always a potential to spread illness if our building isn't as clean as it possibly could be. Having Pinnacle in our building to make sure that it's as clean and safe and healthy as it can be helps us take the best care of our patients. It's family owned and operated, they're local, which means a lot to us.
For over 12 years, you've trusted Scout Construction for quality building and remodeling. Now we're proud to offer expert excavation services to start your project off right. You've seen what we build, now see the way we dig. Experience the Scout Construction difference. Call or email us today for a free quote and let us break ground together.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much.
Memories from 2 or 3 of the clubs.
1992 is, to me, still the I thought it was very true then. I especially believe it now. We had to learn how to win. And that was a night the St. Paul's program under his guidance. That's where it switched.
Right.
That's where it all flipped. And that's the first one that comes to mind, 42-41. And then the next one that comes to mind would probably be the regional final in 99.
That's the one at Elyria?
No, that was the one at Bellevue in front
Okay.
of 4,415 fans. Still
Wow.
a top 10 crowd for a regional final in Division VI. It was Division VI then with the McDonald walk-off field goal, Aiden McDonald.
The Adam Schaefer interview was
with 2004
interception.
Yep, but they had played a great regular season game too. Just like I believe 6 weeks earlier. Jordan Wangler had returned a kickoff, and that's when it jumps to mind. And then I'll say, Monroeville's obviously last year's game. I'm sure you've talked about that already.
Yes, we have.
But then Monroeville in 2019 coming over here with a 2-7 team.
The fireworks game.
Yep, and the rivalry had been, kind of one-sided to that point for a while. And I could still picture Isaac Rader hitting Anthony Dublo in the muddy grass end zone field down here. And that one always stands out for me, too, from Monroeville. Kind of added a little juice back to the rivalry that was maybe, missing at the time. And
well, that no-yard gain there just told us a story. Colt Clark struggled to get to the outside. He is noticeably hurt coming out here. Did you notice anything there?
He looked like he knocked the wind out of himself on that 28-yard run when Levi Rospert made the game or the tackle-saving touchdown.
Okay, that looked like a hamstring there.
And then the very next play is when the snap went, 20 yards backwards. So he was definitely looking a little off down there at that point.
That's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 here. And anything else you can add? There's Boris, as he's going to get 6 more.
And they need Boris. They're going to need to get him going.
Yes.
They're very much a 1-2 punch, and it's been a 1 punch so far. But, it amazes me, Chris, all these years later, we write all these stories and we on TV, we talk all this stuff, and just the way these kids and coaches still deliver. Like they still.
Yep.
It might go blowouts for a couple, but they always seem to find a way to deliver when the game is important to both teams.
And in motion, Boris is going to keep it. He's going to actually, that's Cleary, and Cleary's got first down yardage out across the 45. So 29-yard line of scrimmage. He's going to get 16 on that carry. Just some final thoughts then, Mark, on this rivalry. I'll let you get back down to where you can get some good shots for the reflector.
Final thoughts are just simply, again, I'm a big proponent of the Week 10.
Yes.
And I wish every league did that as best they could. You just always know where you're going to be. It's Week 10. It's St. Paul, Monroeville. They're separated by 6 miles. Kind of gives the Michigan-Ohio State vibes with the uniforms even, and then just the I believe the stat I had was,
Well, and Clark having a hard time standing up now.
This conference is 65 years old, okay? These two have combined to win 40 Firelands Conference championships.
That's incredible.
I don't know what more I can add than that, but you can look at their playoff resumes and all that. But that's what jumps out to me is they've really, from start to finish, one of these two has always kind of been there. Steve Ringholtz just built an amazing program at Monroeville. They've mostly been able to continue off of that. Nestor's done a great job. Obviously, Chris Dowdy had some shoes to fill. Oh, got Horn in the handoff there.
Yeah, that was Chase Horn, and he's going to get 9 yards. It looks like they're going to mark him just shy, and it's going to be 3rd down and 1. And, you cover a lot of sports over the years, but I think you, like me, and most of the people even in here in county around other schools, this is the match they point to. And, boy, you look at I haven't seen Whitney Field this full this year. It's Warren H. Whitney Field.
Correct. And, I would also add, too, just look at what Monroeville lost. Look at what Monroeville graduated. And for them to already have an FC title share and be in this position entering this game just says so much about their program as a whole. They graduated 5 college football players.
Well, there's Cleary.
That's a big boy run.
I tell you what, at this point, it looks like Coach Nestor realizes that Clark is not an option as a ball carrier, and we are going to see tons of Cleary and Boris now.
Yep.
And St. Paul's got a key on that here.
Correct. Yeah, there's definitely something a little off there with number 0's footwork right now.
And right now we're seeing that Monroeville offensive line do what they've done all year.
That is also true.
In motion, and Clark's going to hand it off to the motion man, and a great hit out there by Eli Rospert. Going to set up 2nd down. And
a lot more motion from Monroeville so far, start second half. It's a big part of their offense in general, but doing a lot more trying to shift the St. Paul line, different directions.
Clark got hurt in that week 2 contest over
Correct.
Calvert.
Yep.
And they went nowhere then without him. And
Correct.
so, I think just having his leadership on the field and the threat that he might run it, still gives them a chance out here.
And I was at their Macomb game week 1, and I got to tell you, he didn't complete a pass that night against Macomb. Did not complete a pass. And to see what I'm seeing now, 9 weeks later, what an improvement.
He was our MVP of the game last week, and I said, when did this air raid Eagle offense start? This is certainly 4-down territory. If you had a player like Griffin, it would be something you could kick. But,
correct.
But Krieger, very capable, but usually not a distance guy.
Yep. That was a big swing right before halftime with the St. Paul touchdown getting called back. Keeps them alive.
So 3rd down and 6, ball on the 23 here. And Cleary is going to take the handoff. He fumbles it, but he maintains possession, and he's going to get it inside the 20 down to about the 19, but it's going to be a yard, maybe a half yard short. And, hand-eye coordination there. He still saw his hole and was able to hang on to the ball, and it's going to set up 4th down here.
That's about the 3rd or 4th one that they've had, though, or a little bit of some bobbling, a little bit of some, I don't want to say miscommunication, but just not quite as clean.
And this is kind of the Monroeville St. Paul of years past.
It is.
We're
probably
through. 10-play drive. We're 6 minutes here. And Boris is your back in the backfield now. And Clark's going to hand off to Boris. Boris is going to be stopped in the backfield.
His knee hit the ground. Wow.
Take a look here on our Gnomes Access replay as Levi Rospert came in and made that hit.
And, and it's funny how sports works, right? He got beat on that second play of the game by Chase Horde, and now he comes up and makes the big stop on defense.
All right, well, Mark, hey, I want to thank you. I'm going to get my son back in here so he can earn his paycheck.
Well,
but, awesome. And
he's also a lot more handsome than me.
If I can get you in hopefully maybe week 11 next week if we're hosting, get you in our pregame show. I know you had.
Yep, senior night stuff, but that's okay. And
brought down in the backfield.
There he goes.
Great.
Yes. All right. Yeah, we'll be in touch, guys.
Thank you.
Do a good job.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you. And Brandon Bliley rejoins us now. That was Mark Hazelwood, Norwalk Reflector sports editor. He is the guru of high school sports in the area, and I would say he wrote the history book on St. Paul and Monroeville. He knows everything when those two schools get together. So it's 2nd down for the Flyers. And that was a loss of 3, 2nd and 13, Brandon. Straight back to pass. Look, throw it on the outside, and it goes through the hands of the receiver.
Kuhnle just a little high on that ball over to Landon Fries.
Yep. Well,
but the Flyer defense showing up big there on that 4th down that we just saw a few minutes ago. That's a big stop and a momentum booster for that defense.
I thought, the big back Cleary, I thought you might see him in there or him lead blocking. But, hey, Rospert made a heck of a play there.
Great play. I can't believe Cleary wasn't running the ball after all his success on that last drive. Kuhnle dropping back to pass. He likes the deep ball.
He's going to throw it out there, and it's intercepted down the right sideline. Now cutting it back middle. Here's a flag down.
What a play by Ethan Pomerich. That was an excellent contested catch. It looked like he was pretty much running the route for the receiver. Here's
the return.
Pomerich cutting it back over the middle.
Yeah, that is going to be on Maverick Myers.
We do have a Flyer down on the field. Do not have a number to share yet.
That's it's a block in the back, but it's a block of a defenseless runner. He had no clue, and Myers came up from the sideline area and hit the Flyer player who's down there.
And the officials I don't
think anything intentional, but again, you can't block a guy that way, as he was a defenseless player. And it'll be a 15-yard penalty. Let's hope the Flyer player who is down is able to get back up. I do not know who that is. And with this injury on the field, we are going to step away, and we will also take a quick timeout. We'll be back.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
And back we are here, as that is Connor Lindenberger of the St. Paul Flyers. He's going to get a round of applause as he comes off. Was able to come off under his own power. He looks a little dazed out there, and it's a blindside block on Monroeville. Interception stands, but it will be a 15-yard penalty.
Chris, we were just talking about the Flyers defense making a momentum-changing stop on that 4th down and 1, and then come right back to Monroeville.
Which, again, and not to interrupt, but it doesn't look like they marked the penalty yards off here. It looked like the blindside block occurred somewhere around the 30-yard line, and they're starting on the 31. Clark, look, he's going to throw out there, and a beautiful catch. Maverick Myers.
Big hit there from Landon Fries. You'll see him as rolls a little bit to the left, ball's up in the air to an open Maverick Myers. Landon Fries does get a lick in on him.
And that's going to be a first down. They're going to mark him on the 11. And so still a chance to get a first down. And Clark may not be running the ball right now, but he's certainly slinging it well. And handoff Boris straight up the middle. He is met by a host of Flyers and brought down. Take a look here.
That's what you want to see out of your linebacker
Raphael
there.
Gross, yeah.
That is exactly what you want to see out of your linebacker. Shove your block off, get in and fill the open space and take down the running back. An excellent job there by the Flyer defense.
4:20 to play here, third quarter. St. Paul leads by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. This might be one of those games just like last year, Brandon. Whoever has it last wins. 2nd and 9. And Clark going to hand off. Cleary trying to pop it out, now cuts it back in. Gets as far as the 6-yard line. Good tough running here by Cleary.
Wow, is he a unit to try to bring down. He gets low despite being big, tall, and that's a tough runner to take down. Flyers doing a good job to limit the gain. One thing, Chris, that I'm seeing consistently here is it looks like Clark is receiving a lot of high snaps. It's caused a deep fumble on a first down and ended up putting them behind the sticks. They weren't able to convert. Look forward to seeing if there's better connection here between the center and the quarterback, Clark.
There we go, 3rd down. They need 7. Straight back, look, he's going to throw into the end zone for the Eagle touchdown. That is Ethan Pomerich.
Pomerich in on the big gain. Actually, sorry, that was Pomerich on the interception earlier to cause this Eagles drive. Ends up finishing the drive off with a touchdown of his own, wide open in the end zone. Really nice catch there by Pomerich. Looks like they've got the offense out there and are going to attempt to tie this ball game up by going for 2. In the backfield, 41 Cooper Cleary, tough runner. Snap, Clark rolling out to his left, throws a short one, intercepted by Levi Rospert, and that will allow the Flyers to maintain a 21-19 lead. Have seen some really nice play out of Levi Rospert tonight. Had a touchdown catch. Has also had some really nice defensive plays, specifically on the 3rd down and 4th down of the previous drive. And now coming up again big on defense, Levi Rospert making it happen, but not before the Eagles are able to strike back with a touchdown, getting this to a very tight game of 21 St. Paul to 19 Monroeville.
And hopefully your screen at home is fine, because we are locked up here on our broadcast screen. Our camera is showing a picture of the game, but we can't add points to the scoreboard right now, and we are at the mercy of this computer unlocking.
Apologize as much as we can.
Yeah,
we know how much our voices are not probably the reason you're tuning in, but we'll try to keep it light and easy here to enjoy this wonderful football game. This has really been an exciting one thus far.
Well, and again, we hope that your screen at home looks fine. And, hey, we're back. 21-19, St. Paul.
Too deep for the Flyers. Landon Fries, Nick Pocus back to receive this kick. It's a low ground ball. Fries receives it on the bounce and is able to get back to the 24-yard line before he is taken down by a host of Eagles. A really great kick coverage there by Monroeville.
Well, these 2-point games, Brandon, lots of times now they take away the opportunity for a tie or overtime, because, 2's an odd number. When you got 1, you can, get a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion to go up by 7. But at 2 now, it would have to be a St. Paul touchdown, a missed extra point, and then Monroeville a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. But
well, knowing this rivalry, Chris, anything can and probably will happen. So I'll bite my tongue. This might not just be settled in regulation, as there's a handoff to, I believe that's Landon Fries, who stood up very quickly.
And those the holes that were opening up the first 18 minutes, the first 3 drives for St. Paul just aren't there anymore.
Yeah, I will say, we mentioned it. It seemed like the strength of this Flyer rushing game was off the left side. I've seen a couple runs to the right-hand side, not able to get as much of a push. See if the Flyers look to head back down that left-hand side, as we have 2 Flyer running backs in the backfield.
2nd and 10, and the toss. Now they cuts it back into the middle, works it outside the numbers, out close to the 30. That's a pickup of 7, and that's going to set up 3rd down and 3.
Hey, that's a nice gain. Chris, what side do you think that one went to? Interesting.
Went to the left side.
Left-hand side, nice pickup for the Flyers.
Yeah,
Might be picking up on trends here. I don't have any advanced analytics, but I can tell you, left side, good side for St. Paul tonight.
That entire defensive line for Monroeville is built with studs, but usually you run away from 56. Here we go, 3rd down and a long 3, and St. Paul keeps it. It goes nowhere as a host of Eagles get in there.
Chris, don't ask me what side that was. Left-hand side, not a guarantee every single time. Very nice defensive stop there for the Eagles. Looks like they're going to lose a yard or 2 on that play, bring up 4th and 5 from the Flyers' 28-yard line. Under a minute and 30 seconds here to go in this 3rd quarter. St. Paul still holding a 2-point lead over the Eagles. 2 deep for Monroeville. A very good snap and good punt for Landon Fries. Flyers on kick coverage here are able to stop. Oh, never mind. Boris is able to sneak free. Looks like they had him wrapped up there near the 40-yard line. Connor Boris is a quick fella, and he was able to sneak through for another 10-plus yards. Looks like they're going to start this drive from the 50-yard line. Any points here will do. Monroeville would take the lead with a field goal or a touchdown as we are approaching the 1-minute mark for this 3rd quarter. Cleary is your back in the backfield, along with Colt Clark. Monroeville opting for this shotgun style in most snaps. And it's going to be a handoff to Cleary, who runs fast and strong, and he is able to pick up 5, maybe 6 yards off this right-hand side. Not as many yards after contact as the Flyers were able to flock to the football, but it didn't seem like he got touched until he had made a few yards of progress anyways.
probably one more play here, Brandon.
Yeah, clock continues to tick. We're going to be probably below 30 seconds by the time this football is snapped. Looks like we're probably going to have a really tight one here as we head into the fourth quarter after a few more plays. Man in motion, coming across from left to right. Clark throwing off the left-hand side, and Levi Rospert made an attempt at the ball, but was just a bit short as 14 for Monroeville. Ethan Pomerich runs it back just as he did the time before. Big pickup of yards there for Ethan Pomerich, and a good ball by Colt Clark. It looked like Levi Rospert was trying to make a play on the ball, as he has multiple times this game. Maybe came away with a fingertip, but gave his body up to do so. And when Ethan Pomerich had the ball and looked upfield, there wasn't a lot in between.
That's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. 12 more minutes of action. Monroeville down near the goal line will return to Contractors Stadium in 2 minutes. And back we are here at Contractors Stadium as we move now to the fourth quarter, and it will be first down and goal for the Monroeville Eagles. A limping Connor Clark out there making all the right plays as he tries to get the Eagles into the end zone again on back-to-back possessions. See, a touchdown here would make it a 4-point game. They probably would go for 2 if they score here, Brandon, to make it 6. But 12 more minutes, just how we thought it was going to be with these two teams here. First and goal from the 1, and handoff Cleary. Cleary into the end zone for the touchdown.
Boy, is he a absolute unit in the backfield there, a Mercedes-Benz of a running back. Really strong, runs over the right-hand side and isn't even touched as he cruises into the end zone there. Number 41, Cooper Cleary, having an excellent night on the ground tonight. As the Eagles get on the board quickly here early into the fourth quarter. There's 11 minutes, 56 seconds to go. Looks like they are lining up for 2, just as Chris predicted. 21-25, this would make it to 27 if they can convert and make it a 6-point game. 2 backs in the backfield. And what do you know, handing the ball off to the same guy that just scored you the touchdown, it seems like a very similar song and dance. And Cooper Cleary, yet again, gets in for the 2-point conversion. That'll take the score to 27, Monroeville. Norwalk St. Paul, 21, early into this fourth quarter.
Landon Fries, number 28.
It's still live, Brandon. It's just locked here, so as long as you got it.
Looks like we are back now. Sorry for those technical difficulties. Monroeville kicking the ball. Landon Fries on the return. A nice strong return there to the 35-yard line as the Flyers offense is going to take over here, needing to respond after momentum has clearly shifted in favor of the Eagles after 2 consecutive scores. Ethan Pomerich has been at the hand for both of those, was able to score the touchdown reception off of his interception, and then picked up a very big play to get them to the 2-yard line, where Cooper Cleary ran it in for the touchdown, followed by a Cooper Cleary 2-yard, 2-point conversion run. Still very early into this fourth quarter. Run left side to Nick Pocus. And the Eagles defense is able to get into the backfield very quickly. Looks like that's going to be a loss of 2 yards there. Great job by the Monroeville Eagles defensive line, causing trouble up front for those Flyers. Well, St. Paul has been pretty much in control or in the lead of this game for the entirety of it. This is the first Monroeville lead we've had of the game. I wonder if that will change the play calling here for Coach Dowdy and the Flyers offense, as they need to make sure that they can keep up with this high-powered offense for the Eagles. 2 backs in the backfield. Kuhnle drops back to pass. Scrambling out to his right. He is under pressure and is electing to toss the football away. Keep it nice and safe. No turnovers. Great pressure there from number 61. Isaac Kruger for Monroeville, able to force Kuhnle out into the pocket and toss the ball away. It's going to bring up 3rd and 12 for the Flyers on their own 33-yard line. Just over 11 minutes for this fourth quarter to go.
What a difference a half makes, Brandon. The line push from the Eagles here in the second half. The offensive line moving St. Paul now, and the defensive line getting pressure, closing down those running lanes.
Kuhnle dropping back to pass, scrambling out to his right-hand side. The pressure is coming, but he does find a man. Levi Rospert with the toe tap. What a catch. The ref is saying, yes, sir, move those chains.
Man.
Wow, that would be a catch good on Sunday. I think he got both feet in bounds.
That was a great catch.
That is what an excellent play there by Levi Rospert. Credit to Kuhnle for delivering that ball on time and in the right space. Monroeville, I thought, did a great job causing pressure there and forcing Kuhnle off his rhythm, but a great conversion there for St. Paul. Handoff to Nick Pocus, who is able to dash forward for 8 yards. Another big running back. We've had a few really good running backs in this game, specifically of that size. I would say Cooper Cleary and Nick Pocus are your bigger backs that are out there on the field, whereas Landon Fries, Casey Fries, and Connor Boris are your more speed backs, but really nice running games on display from both teams here, Chris.
It's been really a second half of momentum. The Eagles had the momentum. St. Paul starting to, get a little of it back here with this drive. 2nd and short.
Pocus and Fries in the backfield. Kuhnle dropping back for a pass. He's got someone deep. It's Connor Lindenberger. Is he there? What a catch. Folks, you're seeing some incredible offense here from both teams. Kuhnle dropping that ball in, I believe, 40 yards down the field into a basket for Connor Lindenberger, who's got his 2nd touchdown catch of the night. Chris, what do you think of that play?
Well, that makes up for the 70-yard one that Lindenberger got called back on, as the Flyers tie it up at 27, and now Griffin's extra point would give the Flyers a 1-point lead. Guess what? All of a sudden, you're back into that area where you could be looking at an overtime as the 2-point number's off the board if the extra point is good, and it's automatic with Griffin. And with 10:08 to play here in the contest from Contractors Stadium, St. Paul regains the lead 28-27.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
Welcome back here to Contractors Stadium in Norwalk, Ohio. Chris, we have just an excellent game tonight. The St. Paul Flyers now just retaking the lead 28-27 over the Monroeville Eagles. This has been an incredible first quarter of scoring. The second quarter didn't have nearly as many points. We then saw the third quarter with some more action, primarily in favor of the Eagles, where it looked like momentum had kind of shifted their way. And just when you think St. Paul might be down and out, they march right down the field and cap it off with an incredible Kuhnle to Lindenberger touchdown catch in that left corner of the end zone, and look like the momentum has shifted maybe back in favor of the Flyers, but both offenses seeming to have having their day out there.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, this one could come down to whoever has the ball last.
Number 7, the receiver for Monroeville Eagles. He is still on his feet after taking 2 big hits.
Yeah,
that is number 7, Colton Cook for the Eagles. A decent kick return. I think that's going to have them at the 30-yard line as they start this drive.
Well, I tell you, the one thing I don't think you can underemphasize enough here is what a warrior Colton Clark is. I mean, I saw him hand off the ball on the first play of the second half, and I'm shocked he's still out there. This kid is gutting it out there right now and leading his team up and down the field.
Absolutely. He's been excellent tonight. Still back there in shotgun. Hand off to Connor Boris, who's immediately met by the defensive line for the Flyers. They were able to get into the backfield quickly, stop him for no gain there. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Colton has done an excellent job tonight, but what's difficult is now their offensive game plan has to shift a little bit. You saw the quarterback run, a very important and prominent part of that offense, oftentimes opting for options that maybe cause some confusion for the defense, where he would end up running the ball or handing it off, giving him the power. But now it seems like a very run-heavy offense, still yielding positive results for Monroeville as he drops back to pass, pump fakes, believes he has a man, but it's Levi Rospert coming up with the contested catch for an interception. Levi Rospert all over the field tonight. Catches touchdown passes for you on offense, catches interceptions for you on defense. What a play.
Yeah, and you know what? Give him credit as he undercut the receiver there. And give the receiver credit because he became defensive back there for a while, and he did everything he could to try and break that ball up. He was unable to do so, and St. Paul going to get the ball back now and see if they can use that momentum from the last drive. Remember, a touchdown here still, if they kick the extra point, which you assume they would if they score, still a one-possession game. So,
game of momentum potentially shifting back in the Flyers' favor here. 3 backs in the backfield as it's handed off to Nick Pocus, who's able to march upfield for a gain of 7 to 8 yards. Chris, one of my observations, and this is kudos to both teams, if there is a ball thrown anywhere remotely close to any of these receivers or defensive backs, I haven't seen a drop tonight.
No,
everybody is catching the ball.
We've seen Horn and Pomerich for Monroeville make some great catches. Maverick Myers. We've seen Monroeville with Rospert, Lindenberger. I mean, there really is a ton of talent on display among these two teams out here.
Proud moment for the Firelands Conference as one of its best rivalries is certainly putting on a game for viewers, both out here supporting their teams and for the neutrals back at home. It's been an excellent game thus far. We have 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. Handoff to Nick Pocus, who's going to be right at that first down marker. Looks like they're signaling for those chains to move forward as the Flyers offense continues to pick up rushing yards and first downs.
Well, and the one thing St. Paul doing here is they're bleeding the play clock, trying to take it down inside of 5 and use as much time as they can here. And you know, next Friday is Halloween. St. Paul may host a game on Halloween. I don't want to risk it, though. So if Pocus gets a first down, I'm bringing out the Hocus Pocus nickname here, even though it's only the 24th.
Pocus still in the backfield along with Landon Fries. The ball is going to Fries, left-hand side. Fries finds a gap, and he's able to rush there for a first down pickup. Call it 10 or 11 yards on the play. This Flyer offensive line, as we saw, maybe credit to the Monroeville line earlier in the half, it looked like they were getting the big push up front. Now it looks like it's maybe shifted to the Flyer offense.
It's been a Halloween-filled broadcast this week. We had the Adams family, Addie and Alexa, for the Monroeville volleyball team. We had Gus Grimm on our broadcast Wednesday in soccer, and then we had somebody with the last name Lurch last night. So we've had Grimm, Lurch, and the Adams family.
Add
now
Hocus
we've got
Pocus
Hocus
to
Pocus.
it. Pocus, your ball carrier here, running down the right-hand side, and the Monroeville defense swallows him whole. It's going to be maybe a half-yard to a yard gain. Going to bring up 2nd and 9 as the clock continues to tick down. Going to be below 7 minutes before this next snap. Left in the fourth quarter as St. Paul leads the Eagles by 1.
Yeah. Brandon reminds me, our camera guy, not only is he getting the pictures, he says, Freddie, we got Kruger. We
That's
got Freddie
true.
Kruger for
Just said
Halloween,
Kruger's
too.
name. Isaac Kruger, number 61 on Monroeville, with a couple of nice plays tonight as well.
Yeah. I tell you, that Monroeville line just impresses me, and gives the St. Paul line credit for going toe-to-toe with them here tonight.
3 backers in the backfield. Pocus again, right side, more room to run. Is able to get out of bounds for what looks like a 6 to 7 yard gain. 3rd and short to follow.
And I don't think he wanted to go out of bounds there. They actually mark him out at the 41, so it's 3rd and 5. Boy, again, though, here you get a couple yards. You're probably at 4-down territory, Brandon.
Yeah, you would think so. The team has been running the ball well enough that these 3rd and 4th situations kind of sort themselves out. It's been heavy amounts of run from both teams, and it's been successful, so why change that? Fries and Pocus in the backfield. Kuhnle under center, hands it off to Pocus, is able to march forward 4 or 5 yards there. It's going to be really close, but I think he's going to be shortened. The Flyers are going to have a 4th and short situation here.
He needed 5. He got 4. Now the big question is, do you try to use your speed and get to the outside, or do you go mano a mano? Coach Livengood would say you take your best running play, you give it to your best runner, and you run it over your best lineman. That's what you do here.
Halfback dive over the left-hand side would not be a surprising call to see here if I were Coach Dowdy.
Well, St. Paul's got to hurry. 6 seconds, 5 seconds.
Pocus and Fries, your backs. And it's a pitch outside to the left for Pocus. He's got room, and he will get the first down, but ball does come out. Flyers pointing as if they're confident they have it, but I see a flag on the ground as well.
As I believe that was Dunlap who, and maybe
might just be a fumble flag.
Yeah, that's a fumble flag, so that is
Official
good
waving that off
for an A. Miller Excavating first down.
And the Flyers, to their joy, are getting to see this clock, again, continue to tick down. Not a huge factor yet for Monroeville. I don't think they need to be scared of the clock yet, but if a Flyer touchdown were to happen on this drive, that's going to start seeping into their minds as this fourth quarter gets closer and closer to finishing up. Landon Fries, you're back with the ball. It's going to be short gain to the left-hand side, a yard or 2 for Landon Fries. I believe Casey Fries was also in the backfield with him.
Well, and what you have now, Brandon, with the ball down at the 32-yard line, again, Monroeville was faced with this earlier. You're not punting down here because your gain is if you punt it in the end zone, 12-yard line. St. Paul has to think here, we've got 3 more downs to get 9 yards. If they get stopped, it's just as good as punting it in the end zone. So St. Paul 3 downs to get 9 yards here.
Fair point, and I know Coach Dowdy will be thinking through that as he picks out these plays, sort themselves out for a potential first down.
I'd take my chance out here with Lindenberger on the perimeter.
Casey Fries, you're back this time. Going to leave them with a 3rd and 4 or 5 yards to go. Pickup of about 4 there for Casey Fries. Actually going to be just a hair bit longer at 3rd and 6. Again, we would assume that there's 2 plays here in the Flyers playbook, plays still left on this series in order to get that first down, as you're often not seeing punts from here. And I know the leg of St. Paul's kicker is fantastic, but does a 1-point game turning into a 4-point game make that much of a difference when the Eagles are scoring as well as they are. We will see 3rd and 6. The ball is handed off to Landon Fries, who's running down the left-hand side. The Eagles are able to make a huge defensive stop for a loss of 3 yards or so. Going to bring up a 4th and long situation.
Well, and what you have here, Brandon, St. Paul could take this all the way down inside 3 minutes. And, I would assume they're going to go for it because, again, a punt in the end zone only gets you 12 yards. Had they gotten that to the 25, you might have considered a field goal there from Griffin. His range is mid-40s. I saw him make from 47 in pregame. But here, I think St. Paul may use a timeout here when the clock strikes 1, the play clock. Coach Dowdy standing next to him. They will, as both teams had a full complement of 3 timeouts to play there. And my, oh my, that's going to give us a chance to read a couple of our sponsors here tonight. Kelly Dieter, state representative. Find out more by clicking on Kelly Dieter on the link. We've also got proud supporters of all St. Paul athletes. It's RMH Concrete and Foundations. Savista Wealth Management, proudly celebrating 140 years of community banking. How about Gnomes Orthopedics, Gnomes Access Orthopedics, orthopedic services in Norwalk and Sandusky, accepting new patients. Also, Scout Construction, with more than a decade of business you can trust. Scout Construction with your roofing and siding needs. Call Scout Construction for more information, 419-989-7240. And Brandon, you can take us through this 4th down here.
Going to be a very interesting play, a very important play here as we're deep at this point now, very deep into the 4th quarter. The Flyers have burned a lot of time off of this clock on this drive. Lined up as if they're going to run the ball, but you do have Landon Fries split out to the right-hand side. It is going to be a pass play. It looks like they're looking for Fries under pressure, and the ball is almost picked off. An excellent defensive play there for, I believe that's number 14 for Monroeville.
Pomerich.
What do you know? Ethan Pomerich.
And he made a great late break on that ball, and I think even if he catches it, he'd have been about a yard short.
Ethan Pomerich really showing up here in this 4th quarter. He's been excellent.
It now is going to come down to the arm of Colt Clark, because you would assume with 2 minutes and 48 seconds, they may mix in 1 or 2 runs here, but they're going to have to try and beat you through the air. Monroeville does have a mixture of screen plays they like to run, so you got to watch that too if St. Paul decides to pin their ears back.
Man in motion. It's going to be a fake to him, and then a handoff to Colton Cleary. And an excellent job. That's Cooper Cleary. And an excellent job of the Flyers defensive line.
I want to mention also Schaefer Electrical Services, Jeremy Schaefer, owner and electrician, 419-577-4314.
Monroeville opting to not use one of their 3 remaining timeouts. This clock going to continue to tick down, probably close to 2 minutes by the time they snap this football. 2nd and 12. What is the play call here for the Eagles? Looking deep. Looks like there is. There is going to be a flag on the play. Maybe some exchanging of jersey grabbing, both on the offense and defense. My assumption is that it's probably going to be on the defense here.
Well, and that should be lifted up because of the guy guarding the receiver actually, not guarding the receiver, touched the football. So that should wave off pass interference on the tip ball.
In defense of the Monroeville side here, I would say that it looked like, again, there was maybe some jersey grabbing as they were getting out into that route, even before that tipped ball. As they do call that a defensive holding, as you can hear it here, probably echoing in our mics. The home fans not very appreciative of that call, but what that will do is give a first down to the Monroeville Eagles, keeping this drive.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm waiting. I'm not sure if that's an automatic first down. They still have second down on the marker, and we're waiting to see if they make them switch it. It's just a 10-yard penalty, and there's no automatic first down with it.
Good catch there, Chris. Should be 2nd and 2 for Monroeville here. Just under 2 minutes, a minute and 59 seconds. Cleary in the backfield with Clark, dropping back to pass. Looking deep, just ahead of number 6, Chase Horn, who had that very big touchdown catch early in the first quarter.
And Horn, and this is only natural. He had to hear footsteps there as, he got away from the cornerback, but there was a safety there that was going to light him up had he caught it. So you fully understand, you quickly take your eye off the ball there. That's going to happen. But, again, with it being 2nd down and 3, they have that play. They can take a chance there and still come back here with 2 plays to get the first down.
Absolutely. 3 receivers split out here, 2 to the left, 1 to the right of the quarterback. And it is going to be a handoff to Connor Boris, who looks like he will get that first down as the clock is stopped at a minute and 47 seconds. Eagles getting closer to midfield.
I would think your range here, I would think you have to get it to at least the 20. I'm not sure what Isaac's range is.
Scrolled out to the left here. He is under pressure, and he opts to throw the football away. Pretty smart play if you ask me.
It sure was.
Did not look like there were many options for him downfield. Credit to the Flyers secondary.
Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. 94 ticks on the clock. Monroeville still with 3 timeouts to play, so it really, with those 3 timeouts, if you don't get it here on downs, you still can get 3 timeouts. But you'd pretty much think, Brandon, it all comes down to this offensive series.
Absolutely, yeah. If the Flyers can hold up and win on the defensive side, you'd think they'd go home winners and vice versa for the Eagles. Clark receives a snap, lasers a ball over to the right-hand side, and immediately a flag comes out. Look like they're going to get Connor Lindenberger here on the left-hand side of the defense, right-hand side of the offense for a holding penalty. And that's going to allow another 10 yards of marching forward for this Eagles offense, who on this drive thus far has not really gained yards through their own play on the field. It's been mainly through penalties, but they'll take it where they can get it. That is going to cross them over the 50-yard line to the Flyers' 42-yard line with a minute and 29 seconds to go.
89 ticks on the clock.
Clark receives the ball, stepping back, launches one to one of his favorite targets. Just going to be short of the first down. That was number 6, Chase Horn, who's been all over the place. He's a 6'2" wide receiver who is lightning fast. It's been a nice target for Colt Clark tonight, who is still slinging it despite being seems like off of one leg. Exciting here. Connor Boris is going to sneak forward, definitely picking up a first down, and you can definitely hear the Monroeville fan base is getting pretty excited. This is all coming down to these last few plays here, Chris.
Well, and at this point, the clock is probably no longer an issue with 3 timeouts.
Snap, and it's feeding Boris again, and he's going to pick up probably another stout 5 yards or so. That'll take him right to the 20-yard line. 45 seconds left on the clock as it looks like the Eagles are going to burn their first timeout. They march over and get their fans pretty pumped up here.
Well, and I think, again, not knowing what Krieger's range is, you're certainly in the area where you would attempt one now. I think if you get it down to the 10-yard line, you're certainly in Krieger's range. I was watching some of his extra points throughout the season go through, and he had that range. Certainly, though, a lot of pressure if you're going to try to leave it to the kicker. They've already, missed an extra point on a snap that went awry, so you'd certainly think their goal is to get it in the end zone here. And right now, St. Paul sits here helpless, at least the kids on the bench. That somebody out there on the defense now needs to make a play And because they pick these yards up so quick, you know, it leaves, and with the timeouts, run is still an option.
I would be very surprised, Chris, if Monroeville puts this ball in the air, considering the risk that it could pose. Cleary in the backfield, and he is going to get the handoff. Looks like he is quickly he's not even down yet. They have not blown the play dead. Going to be stopped for maybe a half yard of a gain. Clock is to 34 seconds as it stops.
Well,
it'll be 3rd and 5 yards or so.
Now here's where, if you get a stop here and you're St. Paul, you need to use one of your timeouts. Again, because Monroeville is controlling the clock right now. If Monroeville doesn't get this and they elect to take a field goal, you've got to have, 25 seconds and give Kuhnle a chance to sling it a couple times.
Yeah, and a name that would come up immediately for me would be Connor Lindenberger, who's already featured twice in touchdown catches tonight. A third that was called back off of a penalty. He's 6'4", might be the tallest player on the entire field tonight. I'd be looking to get him the ball if the Flyers have a chance to chuck one deep here to finish out the game.
Last team with the ball wins. We've been talking about that all game, and we could be coming down to that. Don't forget, after this game, stick around. We'll have our MVP. We'll also have our RMH Concrete and Foundations post-game show after our MVP interview. Our MVP brought to you by Savista Wealth Management tonight.
Well, Chris, we had an excellent St. Paul Monroeville game to close out our season last year during the regular season. Looking more of the same this year. Clark receives the ball, and he is actually running to the right-hand side, able to still pick up yardage. He gets a first down. Clark didn't look too shaken up on that play.
Well, and they don't want to use a timeout right now. I think they'd like to do it on the last play, and you see Connor limping back here. This kid is a warrior.
And the clock is starting back up again. They are quick to snap, and they just spike the football. The clock will stop at 21 seconds, and 2nd down and 10 will be where we will pick things back up at.
You don't see it happen a lot nowadays, but I remember in the old days when you would try the field goal on 3rd down. That way, if you had a problem with the snap, the snapper could just throw an incomplete pass. And think about that. Think about the extra point they missed. If that was this field goal, they could have just thrown it down and stopped the clock. So I wonder if they don't. Run it here, get it more towards the middle. Use that timeout with about 10 seconds and then try the field goal on 3rd down.
One timeout remaining as Clark is waiting for the shotgun snap. He rolls out to his left. Still looking. He throws deep into the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown catch. Hello, Chase Horn. Wow. What a gutsy play call there.
Colt Clark to Chase Horn. And one of his linemen was going to jump up on him, and Colt Clark says, stay away. Wow,
Fireworks here.
Seconds.
Fireworks at Contractors Stadium tonight in Norwalk. What an incredible toss and catch there. Clark to Chase Horn. I mean, what can you say? He's been excellent tonight. He's one of their biggest receivers. Went down the left-hand side and made an excellent catch. Beautifully timed play. And it looks like they are going to go for 2 here with 2 backs in the backfield.
33-28, Eagles lead it. There's a handoff. Cleary bounces off of one defender, and he's not going to get into the end zone. And so the Flyers are going to have 14 seconds. They do have a good kicker, but that doesn't matter anymore as they're going to need to find pay dirt. So St. Paul really could use a good special teams play here on a kick return, as Monroeville trying to do to St. Paul what St. Paul did to Monroeville last year, and that was score late. St. Paul scored on the final play of the game last year.
There's been late scores already. How late is it going to be, though? That's the question. Do we have more in the tank for tonight?
I think it's hard to say. But, boy, Monroeville made plays when they had to.
The usual suspects back for the Flyers to receive deep is Nick Pocus and Landon Fries. Wouldn't be surprised if you see more of a squib kick here from Monroeville. Try to take some more time off the clock and pin them deeper. And that is what we see, a squib to the left-hand side. It is going to stay in bounds as Landon Fries picks it up. Still on his feet, gets up to, I believe that's the 26 or 7-yard line. 3 ticks off the clock. That leaves us with only 11 seconds left in this ball game as the Monroeville Eagles score very late to take a 33-28 lead over the Norwalk St. Paul Flyers.
And with 11 seconds, the middle of the field is still open with a timeout here. Your best case scenario is you try to get 25, 30 yards here, get it just on the other side of the field, go down, use one of your timeouts. Certainly if you're Monroeville here, you can't get beat deep. You just bring somebody down. It's only a 15-yard penalty.
Kuhnle takes the ball back, immediately under pressure, does evade one, chucks it deep, and that looks like he was just throwing it away. Going to be 4 seconds left. At that rate, that took 7 seconds off the clock. You would think that this probably would be the last play for the Flyers here tonight. And it's a long one to go. Going to be spotted right now at the 26-yard line. 2nd down and 10, and the 10's not really what they're concerned about. It's the remaining 60-plus yards following that. This is probably going to be your last play of the game, but St. Paul does take a timeout to talk things over beforehand.
I can tell you with this victory, Monroeville will have a bye next week. And if they do, we will certainly have the St. Paul playoff game, as we've had some players, some sponsors step up just tonight listening to the broadcast. I've gotten a few texts on my phone who say we want to be on the St. Paul playoff game, so that's good news. Looks like the Firelands Conference is going to get 3 teams in, as Western Reserve will also make it. Ashland Crestview will not. And we've got our 2 MVPs for Monroeville picked out. We have 1 for St. Paul picked out, but this play could change that. So we will just see what happens here.
A lot of points tonight here in Norwalk. Is there any more in store for this game? 4 seconds left.
Take us home, Brandon.
5 wide receivers split out. Kuhnle receives the snap. It's a good one. He steps up. He's looking deep under pressure, and he's not going to get a ball off. And Monroeville Eagles win the rivalry game here in Contractors Stadium in Norwalk, Ohio. The Eagles get their revenge after last year's heartbreaking loss to the Flyers on the final play of the game, and they get their revenge late tonight over the St. Paul Flyers. What an excellent game, Chris.
The quickest people to leave the field were the officials there at the end, as they got off of here. And Monroeville Eagles, congratulations. Perfect 7-0 Firelands Conference season. We will tell you we're going to have 2 MVPs tonight. Colt Clark, he was our MVP last week, but we're going to have Colt Clark and Chase Horn up here in our MVP booth after they meet with their team. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with our MVPs when we return. And back we are here at Contractors Stadium, where I'm joined now by a very happy and excited Chase Horn of the Monroeville Eagles, who hauled in the game-winning touchdown pass with 14 seconds over to win over Norwalk St. Paul. And Chase, you got to play in this game last year. It doesn't matter the record of these teams when you guys play. It's always a fantastic game. Why do you think that is?
I don't really know. We go in, it don't matter the record, obviously.
Right, yeah.
We go in, and anything could happen. It happened last year. We were favored to win again, but they beat us out at the last play of the game. Here, we were obviously favored to win again.
Sure.
With a better record, but we came out. I made the catch, and
Well, talk us through that second half. You trailed, your defense gave up touchdowns on the first three possessions. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
You go in down 21-13 at the half, but then you got some. When Colton was injured, your offense seemed to perform the best, and I don't know why, but you kind of got away from Colton running and you got to the pass game. But first, just tell me about the warrior Colton is. You were in the huddle with him out there. What was he going through?
he honestly held it together pretty well. He wasn't like saying "ow," like he just.
He looked like he looked like he needed a wheelchair. He was limping so bad.
He looked pretty rough, but honestly, he's a tough kid. He's got a good mindset on him. He'll play through anything.
Talk about the group of receivers you have out there. It's somebody every night. You got Pomerich, you got yourself, you've got the Ackermans. I mean, Maverick Myers catching balls. You've got a great group of receivers. Tell me what it's like playing with all that talent.
It feels great knowing that we got people that can make a play everywhere.
This will I think, clinch a home game for you guys and a bye.
Yep.
You get a week off. What are you going to do? You're going to head down to South Florida and hit the beach for a while? Or I'm sure Coach Nestor's got some plans to give you a day or two off, but then get locked in on the playoffs?
Just get locked in, stay focused, and get the job done.
Good. Well, we'll have it on the OH Report. It'll be a Week 12 game. Congratulations. You're our Civista Wealth Management MVP. Look into that camera and shout out anybody and everybody you want.
I'm just going to shout out my family, Colt Clark for throwing me them dimes, and the Ackerman twins.
All right. Now, final question. Favorite Halloween candy?
Twix all the way.
Twix. That's the second vote for Twix. All right. That is our MVP, Chase Horn. Congratulations, Chase. We'll be back with the postgame show. And welcome into the RMH Concrete and Foundations postgame show. If you were watching from home, live and free, you got, I was going to say you got your money's worth, but hey, it was live and free. Just an extremely well-played game. It was really the first night of high school football where it felt like fall. I mean, we had been playing in short sleeves, Brandon, and this is the kind of St. Paul, Monroeville football games and rivalries. These games remind me, you can go back into the 70s when I was watching them, but like Mark Hazelwood said, throw out the records. Chase Horn said it. When these two teams meet, it doesn't matter if one team's 20 points better or not. It's coming down to the wire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it was shouted out earlier in the broadcast. It's reminiscent of Ohio State, Michigan. Doesn't matter what the records are. Doesn't matter who should win, who is hot, who is not. It is always a good game. Set your calendar to it each and every year. It's Week 10, baby. It's Friday night football in the Firelands Conference, and it usually has implications for playoffs, for who wins the conference, and tonight was no different. We've seen back-to-back years of just incredible games. I mean, objectively, you don't have to be a fan of one team or the other. You could be a neutral, and wow, what excellent plays we're seeing on the offensive side of the ball. We're seeing kids getting their head into it on defense, making interceptions, big stops on fourth down. I mean, tonight had a little bit of everything. And it was a lot of fun to watch from up here. I hope it was just as much fun on the broadcast for people to tune into.
Well, and you see there, TBA for both teams. Monroeville will clinch a Week 11 bye now, and they will host a game. They'll be able to go scout live next Friday, whoever they play. And St. Paul, they are going to be in the playoffs. The question is whether or not they're going to get to host a game or whether they will be on the road. And that we'll probably know that by about midnight tonight. Don't think there's any Saturday games that will take it. But this is one tonight where you just hate to see any team lose because they both played so well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from both sides of the ball, you saw heart, you saw fight. You could tell from not only the reaction of the players on the field how much this meant to them, but the fans in the stadium. I mean, every time there was a first down, you'd hear a loud cheer from whichever side got it. Every time there was a touchdown, you could feel the energy and the momentum shifting throughout the game. I think that makes it a lot of fun for people to be here and be in this atmosphere and be a part of it.
Yeah, and both of these schools are going to have exciting atmosphere next week, as the OH Report will be live and free at both of the regional semifinal volleyball games. Travis Berardi will be with the Monroeville Eagles. Myself, I will be in Elida with St. Paul game, and then have the Tiffin Calvert game afterwards. And maybe we'll see a rematch in the regional finals of St. Paul and Calvert. That was a state semifinal last week. But, you know, a lot of energy in these two schools with their fall sports right now, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, you just announced about 100 interesting things I'm going to need to tune into. We're going to have to clear this hard drive 4 more times. We've got so much good content here on the OH Report. Just an awesome time of year for really important sports, football, volleyball, soccer. It's really an exciting time to be a sports fan, a high school sports fan, and we think the OH Report does a fantastic job of providing that. I'm looking forward to tuning in as a neutral on a bunch of these, but the game here tonight couldn't have been more fun to watch. Again, you hate to see a loser because both teams showed how much they deserved it and wanted it. But Monroeville does come home the victor tonight in a 33-28 win over the St. Paul Flyers, and their undefeated run in the Firelands Conference continued and will finish up as a fantastic regular season for them, with both teams probably making the playoffs. Yep. Obviously, we mentioned that already. Monroeville a shoe-in, getting that first round bye. As I was talking to Chase Horn on his way up here for player of the game, he sounded very, very excited to get the bye week and get to, you know, obviously you've got some players that are maybe going to be injured. We talked through Colt Clark a bunch tonight and how maybe he's going to be a little bit sore tomorrow. Giving those guys a little bit more time is going to be so crucial to that playoff run that Monroeville Eagles are going to attempt to make.
And that's a wrap. Monroeville wins it 7-8. They finish 8-2 overall. Perfect, unblemished 7-0 mark in the Firelands Conference. A little bit of free advertising by telling you guys tomorrow on our YouTube channel 6 and on Facebook. I will be in Toledo for a soccer doubleheader at noon. I'll be at Millbury Lake High School as we have Maumee taking on Lady Lex as the number 1 seeded Lexington Lady Minutemen try to punch their ticket to the regional. And then at 7 p.m. on YouTube Channel 6, I will be at Genoa High School as we have the Clear Fork Lady Colts trying to win their district. So a bunch of action going on tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching and listening and putting up with our audio problems. Great job by Brandon Ehrenberg on camera. I was the color commentator tonight as Brandon, as I was trying to fix things, did a great job on play-by-play. And again, thanks mostly to you guys for tuning in. That's going to wrap it up here from Contractors Stadium. The Monroeville Eagles win it in a tight one, 33-28.
wanna eat that new chick.